Hey, Michael with XForcePC. Hopefully this video turns out okay. Austin borrowed my normal camera to go do some shooting about Tesla stuff. So I wanted to talk about why on our high-end Ryzen system do we use DDR4 3600 memory. And a lot of it has to do with how the architecture works with the Ryzen Third Gen. And I'm not going to take a deep dive into this because there's just no need. There are plenty of videos out there that if you want to know more about this. But we have here our memory bandwidth. This is the speed you're used to seeing, DDR4 3600, DDR4 3200, 3000, and 2666. These are the clock speeds for this RAM. And you notice it's exactly half of the mega transfers per second. The megahertz or clock speed of the RAM is 1/2. And why is that? Well, DD stands for double data rate. DDR stands for double data rate. So you're getting, at 1800 megahertz, you're getting 3600 megatransfers per second. So that's why that happens. Now, that comes into play on the Infinity Fabric. What is the Infinity Fabric? It's like an internal bus that's on the chip, on the Ryzen chip. And the various components on the chip communicate with each other across this Infinity Fabric. Now, the Infinity Fabric will sort of bind itself to the clock speed of the memory. So you see at 3600, we're getting 1800 megahertz. At 1600 or 3200, megatransfer RAM, 1600. So you see the Infinity Fabric follows the RAM speed. Now, you can force, if you're running DDR4 2666, you can force the Infinity Fabric to run at 1800 megahertz, but then you have a situation where your memory and your Infinity Fabric are out of sync. And that may actually cause worse performance in some cases. So it's ideal if your memory clock and your Infinity Fabric clock run at the same speed, and for the best performance, 3600 yields the best Infinity Fabric speed. This is the highest speed that the Infinity Fabric is rated to run at. Technically, it is overclockable. I think some people can get 1900 out of it, but the safest, most stable, best performing way to do it is to use 3600 speed RAM with all 3600 speed RAM has an 1800 megahertz clock, which will cause your Infinity Fabric to run also at 1800 megahertz, and that's really gives you the best performance and the best stability. So hopefully that helps you understand why we would use DDR4 3600.